What is up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, as you can see, we're not on the porch. Guess what? We're in a wholly new location. Hallelujah. Yeah, I've been shooting a lot of videos on the porch recently. I do really like that porch. I'm very proud of it. You know, all the upgrades that I did to it turned out really well, but I wanted to expand my horizons slightly and actually show you guys some more stuff. So today we're not on the porch, and that's really nice. You know, at one point I was using Will Flips as an excuse to get out of the house and actually go places and film things, and so I'm hoping to be able to do that again now that it's warm out. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about my flipping and how I'm trying to improve it. That's why I have my cracker in today, because that's one of my knives that I really go to when I'm like actively thinking about my flipping or trying to improve it or anything like that. And recently, I have been doing my best to learn scissors. I've gotten actually pretty good at the regular scissor, and I'm also trying to learn the giraffe, which, as you can see, that was not the worst giraffe in the world. I'm getting there. But yeah, I've been learning a lot when it comes to improving my flipping. Relatively, you know, nothing crazy, but at the same time, I think it's been nice trying to improve that, because I had not stagnated, but the problem with flipping as a YouTuber is that I need to be extremely consistent with my flipping. Like when Brandon and I are filming, I've talked about this problem before, but when we film, I need to be able to flip consistently for like minutes at a time. And I don't know if you've ever tried to time yourself flipping, but I guarantee you that it is surprisingly hard to flip like really intensely for minutes at a time without ever dropping the balisong. And so what I've focused on primarily is being consistent. I want to be good at the things that I'm good at in a way that is consistent, and that will mean that I will be able to do what I need to do for our YouTube channel when I actually film a video with Brandon. But unfortunately, consistency also involves not actually exploring outside the box very much. You know, I found myself not really doing much in terms of like tech or newer stuff that's coming out, because it's not something that I can add into my repertoire in a way that I'm really consistent with, in the same way as I can with the flipping I'm already used to. And so it leads to my flipping sort of stagnating in a weird way, because I sit there and I repeat the same tricks that I'm really good at, and then I find it hard to sort of expand past that and like find myself a new space to exist in. And yeah, I've been just trying to push past that. You know, I still think I'm going to have stagnant-ish flipping in general, simply because of who I am and what I do. Like, you know, my flipping is more focused on figuring out, okay, how do I review this balisong or whatever, more so than it is about how, like, what craziness can I pull off? You know, like I'm not a exceptionally high level flipper. I'd like to think that I'm a relatively good flipper, but I'm nothing compared to people like Seiji or Jelly or Joff, like all of the squid peeps. You know, they have incredible levels of flipping that are just beyond what I'm capable of. And I understand that, and I think that it's nice to like sort of know my place in that sense. Like I do know what I'm good for, I think, and I'm proud of what I am capable of. And the other half of it, too, is I just flip for fun. Like, you know, I love flipping. I enjoy flipping. And I don't feel like I have to be the best flipper in the world to be satisfied at my flipping. Because really, at the end of the day, it's just for me to enjoy myself. And then I happen to create a YouTube that happened to take off about it. Not intentionally, it just happened. And so, you know, I'm trying my best to kind of not lose my self journey when it comes to flipping. Like, I don't want to just become a YouTuber to be a YouTuber. I want to be a guy who flips that is a YouTuber, not a YouTuber who makes YouTube content about flipping because that's what he has to make YouTube content about. Does that make sense? I want to enjoy what I do, and by that, I have to enjoy flipping first, and then the YouTube becomes a second to that, and not the other way around. If I was YouTube first, then that would be problematic for both my long-term ability to enjoy this hobby and probably my ability to connect with you guys, the audience, because, like, you know, that's going to be a whole thing. Speaking of improving my flipping, is there anything you guys would like to see me learn that, like, oh, I hit ya. Sorry. Is there anything you guys would like to see me learn that you think I could, like, implement into my routine that would go well? Something I've been really wanting to learn more about is tech, because, like, I've seen so much interesting stuff about tech recently, and, like, I just don't fully understand it. I have, like, very small ideas as to how to do tech, but it doesn't fully compute to me. And the other half of that is I don't even know if we can define what tech exactly is yet as a genre. Like, it very much feels like there's a feeling to tech, in the sense of, like, if you watch somebody who's flipping and they're doing quote unquote tech, you know, you can, like, point it out and be like, oh yeah, that's tech. But I don't know if there's, like, a set of rules yet for what tech even is. It's kind of a similar way to how I feel about, like, trap music. Musical genres, and I think flipping genres are probably very similar in the way that they can kind of be described. Whereas, like, some flipping genres are very much hard and fast things, like rollovers versus aerials. You know, like, there's a hard and fast rule to what is a rollover and what is an aerial. But in music, it's very similar. Like, house music is generally 128 BPM. Usually it's like 126 to 128 BPM. And it has usually a pretty consistent pattern of 4 on the floor drums, where you have a kick drum every beat, at least. In the bridge section, you have that, you know, just that consistent sort of sound. Whereas something like trap is much harder to define, because trap is hip-hop personified into electronic music. And to call hip-hop a genre is a disservice to hip-hop, because the hip-hop is an expression, primarily a POC expression, and the genre of hip-hop is vast. If you actually listen to quote-unquote hip-hop, you will find there is just an insane number of things that are all considered to be hip-hop. There's not one thing that is hip-hop. And similarly, because trap is ideas from hip-hop then personified into electronic dance music, trap is also a very interesting genre, because instead of being something like, you know, hardstyle is another good example of, usually hardstyle is around 150 to 170 BPM. And it, once again, has that 4 on the floor, but this time it uses a very, very hard, distorted sound for that kick drum, right? These are defined genres that are straightforward things that we know about. And trap isn't. Trap can be anywhere from like 100 BPM all the way up to like 260 BPM. I've seen trap songs that span the gamut. They can go down to like 80 BPM, honestly. It's crazy. And the actual drum patterns that make up trap music are not consistent from song to song. There are a bunch of different ways that trap can be produced, and it just isn't one main thing. And I think flipping is very similar to that. I mean, flipping is similar to that in the way that music is. But I'm interested to find out more about tech as a kind of evolving and upcoming idea in flipping. Because the more I've seen people do tech, the more interested I am in learning to do it myself and figuring out what does it even mean when you say, oh, that's a tech trick. Like, how do we actually define that? If you have any ideas as to how you might define something that you would call a tech trick, let me know. And also, if you have any resources for learning tech, if there's any good YouTubers out there or anybody that's been like kind of posting tutorials or whatever, please link them to me, because I would love to learn more about that stuff, because I really don't know it whatsoever. So anyways, yeah, trying to improve my flipping, trying to get better, trying to be able to do that giraffe consistently. I'm getting there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.